it matters to that one. And that's what we need, is a sense of empowerment, because we've been so bombarded with, we can't make a change. What does one person matter? What's the difference? And we get so consumed in just the daily struggle of our lives, of going to work, paying bills, dealing with just the mundane. And if I try to project and see my life, down the line, and practice this, do the you're on your deathbed test, and you're on your deathbed, you're about to die, you're reflecting upon your life, and will you think, man, I wish I spent more time in the office? Will you think, man, I wish I had more possessions, or made more money, or watched more television? That'll be the furthest thing from our minds at that point. What I saw in Mr. Wiesenthal in this documentary, that man, I think he died at like 94, but he could look himself in the mirror and say he did not live his life in vain. And in fact, that's what he said. His life had a higher calling, which we all do, but we get so distracted with either our own personal problems or suffering, and just get bogged down with that. And then, we say, okay, I'm going to make a change, and then I'll make a change tomorrow, and then tomorrow becomes next month, and the next month becomes next year. And before we know it, our lives have just evaporated right before our eyes. But when we're on our deathbed, looking back at our lives, the person that will have the greatest inner peace today, tomorrow, and at the end of their lives is one that used the spiritual path to move beyond their own suffering so they can invest in the lives of others. And the world desperately needs people who give a damn. And there just seems to be such a great sense of apathy. There was years and years ago, there was a great movie that I saw. It was called The Power of One. And the protagonist, the main character, was explaining, he was looking at a waterfall, and he was using the waterfall as a symbol of this humongous, powerful waterfall that can eat away at rock and carve its own path. It starts with one drop. And it's the accumulation of those drops melded together, that create this incredible waterfall. And in this documentary, Mr. Wiesenthal, Simon Wiesenthal, was one man. And he had such a profound effect upon the lives of thousands and millions of people. They say to this day, at the end of the documentary, they said, that's why we have war tribunal courts today, because of Mr. Wiesenthal, and why the UN has its own division devoted to finding and prosecuting war criminals in The Hague. And it's due to this man. This one little, humble, selfless man had a ripple effect. And maybe most of us are not going to become a Simon Wiesenthal, but we don't realize we negate the power of the individual, of the one person that we can have in the lives of a child, in the lives in our community, in the lives of others. And it's when we move beyond and see, and I think this is the beautiful thing about awakening spiritually. As we awaken spiritually, we no longer see Americans, we no longer see Mexicans, we no longer see Iraqis, we no longer see Afghanis or Russians. We see human beings. We see people. We see souls that are in need of a helping hand, are in need of compassion and empathy and action. And if you want to feel happy, you want to feel inner peace, you want to feel joy, that is the path. It is, the path that we pursue when we work on ourselves is like a little flicker, a little flame. It's the spark that is necessary to light this magnificent fire. You know, this huge fire that provides warmth for many, many people. Many people can come to this fire and warm their hands and get out of the cold and just have a little oasis of safety and security and comfort and a place where they feel loved. Thank you very much for listening. The power of one.